throws to take that first game, and now we are going to be on Cursed Hollow for game 2.
Yep,
which
and
should be.
this is a map pick of Pro Throws, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of strategy they come up with here.
Yeah, and I would expect the Dahaka ban to come out pretty quick, or to take Dahaka, because you saw how valuable Dahaka was for Pro Throws that game. If you're Murky Mark, you don't want to see another Dahaka against you. So, yeah, good stuff by both teams. Good game.
All right, it looks like everybody is ready, so we're going to go ahead and get into the draft of game number 2 here on Cursed Hollow.
Yeah, and this is Dahaka. These are where globals are really highly valued. Again, like we just saw, Dahaka really high valued. Falstead's really high valued. Tassadar's still a really good pick on here, just because ability to interrupt in quick rotations. So
Yeah, Tassadar is just so good, especially if you can sync him up with that Vala.
Yeah, I would expect to see Tassadar to Haka ban pretty quickly on one or the other side, and then the other person take the one that doesn't get banned. Tassadar, Falstead, Dahaka out of those 3.
Yep, and then in the second round of picks for them, just grabbing that other healer, either Malf or Lucio.
Yep, and we see that first ban Dahaka. But Dahaka's a great pick, and if you don't have someone that can take him first pick, ban him, because you don't want to deal with that again. He had so much value. When you see something like that early on, you might expect to see a Falstead pickup as the first, and you don't normally see Falstead first pick, but you could in this sense where you want the advantage.
Yeah, you could. I think there's some. Oh, they do Falstead ban.
Yeah, because Falstead is just so strong. If you have the only global, it's such a power spike.
And Gust is such a game changer, especially on this map.
Yeah, so Zarya, I would expect Zarya or Tass. That's what I was gonna say. I would expect. So we'll probably see a Tassadar pickup, and you can do Tass Vala right now, and you get the combo heroes that everybody's been playing. The Tass Vala is just so strong and so hard to deal with.
Yeah, you'll probably have to deal with a Lucio pickup or Malf pickup and ban, so you'll have to go down to a second tier healer.
Yeah,
but I think it's getting Tassadar is probably worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Tass Vala is 100% worth giving up Lucio or Malf. You could even go Tass Lucio. Vala will probably disappear, but you could still go something like Tracer.
There's the Vala pickup.
Then, yeah, a lot of times you'll see the Tass follow it. There it is. Man, I'm good.
God, no Tassadar skin. Come on.
Yeah, you better skin up. This does now allow Murky Mark to get Lucio or Malf and then ban the other one, which you need to do that. You need to take one or the other and ban the other one because of that strong power spike from having like a Lucio Tassadar is ridiculous. You don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, I would also like to see a Varian picked up here for Murky Mark, just to be able to cut through that Tassadar shield on the Vala to blow her up.
And the taunt is so powerful against Vala.
There's a Malfurion pickup.
And they'll probably go. I would guess they would go with the DPS here.
Cassia.
We get to see Cassia.
That is really interesting.
Bold move.
I mean, she does have that. This is the first game I've seen her in both Team League and Chair League. So it'll be interesting to see how she plays out. She does have the 65 armor against physical attacks while moving. So
yeah.
A counter to Vala in a way.
Yeah, and she's a counter in any auto attack hero. Like, she does so well against auto attack heroes. The issue comes is you've taken her really early. If they get like an Arthas or something to root her, slow her down, like Tassadar alone just draining on top of her makes it really hard.
Yeah, any root, slow, stun is just she can't survive.
Yeah.
Aside from having that armor, she's real squishy. But they do have the Zarya shield for her as well, so that'll be really nice.
Yeah. And they do. They do have Zarya shield. I would expect a Lucio ban here. But she's a really good counter to Vala. Vala has trouble dealing with her, and that probably will be the case in this too. So I would expect a Lucio ban.
So who else would you be looking for pro throws to pick up here? Assuming the Lucio ban.
They banned Li Ming. We could see, and this happens like maybe a Chromie or a KT. Good. Okay, we see the Arthas ban. I would definitely expect a Lucio. So I expect a Lucio, and they need a high damage dealer.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to pick up Lucio now. There's no more bans. I wouldn't be afraid of Murky Mark taking him.
That would be funny, though, wouldn't it? Mouth Lucio. Solo tank Zarya.
That would be very, very interesting.
Moonfire Mouth. It's been a while since I've seen a Moonfire Mouth.
That boomkin.
Yeah, I think you could save the Lucio, but I think you want to take Lucio now just so your last pick can flex.
Yeah, no, I agree. I like that move a lot more.
Yeah.
As they would be expecting, I would be expecting the Lucio pickup from them, so I'm sure Murky Mark is thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I think Lucio, and you could do a Murden. I don't know how Murden would be against Cassia, but I guess with a stun it would be very helpful.
Yeah, especially with Skullcracker.
Oh,
yep, and we do have the Lucio Muradin.
I'm picking Pro Throws draft for them, just so you guys know.
All right, so who's their last pick then?
I'm gonna go on a really weird limb here and say Chromie. Chromie's their last pick, depending on the picks. I might adjust my choice here in a second.
All right, Chromie against Zarya, huh?
Yeah, Chromie wrecks Cassia. You want a really good spell damage person to kill Cassia. Chromie can do that. We'll see if that's what they do. Especially Lucio, you're never going to get caught. You can run forever.
Except for if Chromie goes auto attack build.
I would expect Varian to come out for Murky Mercure. They've got it.
I agree. I think Varian would be really solid, especially with Lucio and Tacidar's shields.
Yeah, I think you go Varian, and I think you go a high mage DPS. If they go KT again, he's going to build a little differently this time. I can feel it. You could go Jaina.
Yeah. I mean, with the Lei Ming ban. Or, yeah. Yep, and they go with the Gul'dan. So, getting that mage, but not quite as a bursty as a Jaina or KT would be. They're going for the stacking blinds for Cassia.
Yes, that is true. The Johanna blinds she does 25% more damage to blind targets, and that's a constant thing. So anyone that blinds, she'll do more damage to. So it's a little combo working with her. And you see the Gul'dan pickup. So it's going to be on Cassia to do those kills. I'm worried about Murky Mark's ability to secure kills. But if Zarya gets shields up enough and energy up and she can put out damage, I think they will be able to. But
yeah,
Zarya, they'll be able to secure kills.
It'll be interesting. We'll have to see how it goes. I am liking Pro Throw's draft quite a bit more at this point. Just that Vala Tassadar is just so good. So strong.
Here comes the Chromie. Here comes the Chromie. Let me see it.
Ragnaros.
Man.
You weren't even close.
But both have
it is
a big Q.
Chromie's big one is W.
That Q too.
Kinda.
Both of her spells are hit for a lot, right?
Yeah. Well, they do go with a mainly ability damage hero.
Yeah, which is good because you're gonna have Zarya will be in range, Johanna will be in range, Cassia will be in range, so your Q is gonna splash and hit 3 or 4 people.
Yeah, so and if he can hit anyone with Sulfuris, they're basically gonna die. Yeah. Or hit that Malfurion, Cassia, or Gul'dan. It's pretty much game over for them.
Mm-hmm. And you would expect to see, as soon as the stun happens on Cassia, you're gonna see a Rain of Vengeance and a Sulfuris smash. You're gonna see all that happen on her at the same time.
Yeah, and she's just gonna go poof.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's gonna be really hard for Murky Mark to secure kills against this team. Ragnaros is gonna be the kill target if you can, but it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, especially with Lucio's speed, being able to just get them all out of there.
Yeah.
All right, so
We're on central this one.
Are we? Okay. Well, I changed it to be preferred western,
West Coast.
but
Yeah, we were on west last time, so.
okay. So over on the side of Pro Throws, the blue team, we have Theros playing that Muradin. We got Sargeras on the Lucio, Verano on that Ragnaros, Spox on the Vala, and Lieutenant Dam playing that Tassadar.
And on red team, Murky Mark, we have Pork Chop on Malfurion, Air Rekka on Gul'dan, Alan Arf on Cassia, Scythian on Johanna, and Duck Thompson on Zarya.
And we do see a couple of members of Murky's Mark going bottom here, maybe trying to get a little bit of damage out on this tower.
Yeah, they see this double 4-man, so good old base race, here it comes. Johanna's just fine standing there and not doing anything about it.
And it looks like this is going to go in the advantage of Pro Throws as they are able to take down a tower. And we do have Tassadar in this bottom lane, shielding the towers, trying to keep them up for as long as possible.
Yeah, with Lucio, they're going to get down there quick, so. Murky
So
Mark's able to kind of close that gap.
Is there anything unusual you see coming out at level 1 here?
Globes for Tassadar is the only thing. Stormbolt build on Muradin too. So those are the only kind of unusual things I would see. Oh, True Sight too. A lot of people have been going the attack damage one on Cassia. So True Sight's interesting to see.
I think that's just going to show how they're playing into the Johanna blinds as well. Getting that extra blind damage.
Yeah, and we'll see if it works for him. I mean, I like the idea, but she's not going to get any stacks if she's not laning with Johanna, which is solo laning mid right now.
Yeah, but it also gives her another passive 10% damage to blinded targets, so that's another thing to keep in mind.
Yeah, that is true. So Murky Mark's getting a lot of advantage here early on down bottom.
Bunch of damage coming out on that Vala, but the Tassadar shield is just so much burst sustain there.
Yeah, Rag in the meantime is getting quite a bit of value top and starting to bully Johanna out of lane, so.
And we do have the entire wall going down. 4 Pro Throws here.
Yeah, so Alan is going this complete blind build. Cassie heals for 25% of damage she deals to blind enemies. So they're going full on blind.
Yeah, that's a pretty standard talent for Cassia to pick up here at level 4. From what I've seen so far, at least. We have both teams rotating up. Ragnaros getting pushed out by Cassia and Johanna there. Good poke by Ragnaros, not allowing Cassia to get the free tribute there. And Ragnaros getting really low. Same with Vala. Zarya is able to pick up that Vala kill.
Yeah, they're splitting their damage, so they
Yep.
need to, there we go.
But the stun onto Cassia, but the Zarya shields is just too much.
Yeah, she's healing for
We do
quite
see
a bit.
Ragnaros going down. They're able to pick up this tribute. Trading 2 for none.
Yeah, and so it seemed like a lack of focus fire there from Protoss. They were kind of split into some wanted to attack top, some wanted to attack bottom. So just a little bit lack of focus fire got them to a spot they didn't need to be in. So good job by Murky Mark to take advantage of that early tribute.
Yeah, I think the engagement that they took was they dove a little bit too deep, too fast. And it just didn't work out for them. They were able to Murky Mark was able to regroup and turn it around.
Uh-oh, Cassia gets stunned. Ragnaros and Muradin are on her, but with that movement speed, she takes very little damage. And it shows. As long as she's moving, she takes a lot less damage, so able to get away from those two.
Yep, and we do have a level 7, or the level 7 talent advantage for Murky's Mark here going into the second tribute. So this should just be a free tribute. I don't know, we do have Pro Throws rotating down.
Yeah, they're in a bad spot though. They're kind of all split all over the place.
Yeah, this is a tough one to try to get to. Walking through this corridor straight into the jaws of death.
Yeah, and they're still really split on where they are, so Lucio's not going to be able to heal them in the top area. They are starting to get low. Zarya putting on a lot of damage. Cassie putting on a lot of damage.
Oh my god, that corruption from Gul'dan is also doing tons. They're able to secure 2 kills.
Yeah, they just weren't together. They were split between that little corridor, and Tassadar was bot.
Yeah,
You can't fight like that, not when you have so much reliance on being with Vala and letting her do damage.
yeah, I think that they needed to just have Vala and Ragnaros rotate around the safe way through the fort and try to come in from the same, take the same angle to go in there. Just have Tassadar poke until they're able to.
Yeah, I agree.
So we do have an entire level lead here for Murky's Mark. But Zarya getting really low. Murden jumping over, securing that kill. We do have Vala taking tons of damage, and it looks like Cassia is gonna be able to take her down. No, Lucio.
Oh, no, quick heals by Lucio.
Lucio barely being able to keep her up.
Yeah, really good awareness by Lucio to see what was happening and to get back there and heal her up. Curse does spawn bot here. This will favor Murky Mark just a little bit. Gul'dan getting
Gul'dan falls. That Lucio dealing damage over the wall.
Yeah, that's Soundwave, man. Gul'dan did not want to hear the music, and he pays for it. We do see an interrupt. I think Murky Mark, you have no, there's no reason for Murky Mark to be here. They have the advantage still. They still have a tier. Yeah, so keep it going. You'll get 10 first. You'll be able to probably get a camp and put a little pressure on before this next tribute spawn. We do have Cassio Ragnaros one-on-one in here.
And it looks like that advantage does go to Cassia with that auto attack blinds heal.
Yeah, that extra healing's pretty powerful. We should keep poking at this rag. Oh,
this is a bad place for her to be. She did not see that coming.
No, that was good rotation by Prothros.
And terrible timing as this tribute spawns again.
Yeah, and they definitely wanted to be able to contest this one because they have 2. It's on their side. We might see I mean, she's going to be up quick. We could see a contest come out. And they're not actually... Prothros isn't trying to grab it. They're just trying to get a little level advantage, I'm guessing, because they didn't have anyone getting ready to grab that tribute.
Yep, they did catch up. It's fighting on even level 10 talent tiers here.
Yeah, so this will be a 10v10 with everybody up. Cassie is back in the fray now.
Got Johanna in there. Oh, huge Sulfurous smash coming down. And that expulsion zone locking Zarya out from the rest of his team. Cassia falling from the Muradin and Vala narrowly escaping.
Cassia does go Valkyrie, which I'm surprised. Zarya still trying to clean up though.
Yep, but Muradin in a bad spot. Vala's going to be able to take him down, and Muradin is not stopping.
Yeah,
he's just going right after that Malfurion there, too.
I am very surprised she didn't go Lightning Ball.
I agree. Maybe she's just looking to try to pull that backline in, get that Vala down in front, pull her from the backline to the front line, and just focus her down.
It could be possible, but with Vault, it's going to be really hard to do that. I do see they have expulsion zones, so maybe they're trying to just kind of isolate somebody and pull them separate, but that bouncing ball there would have probably secured another kill or 2. And at 20, when it's infinite, and if you have 2 or 3 melee on their team, it bounces forever.
Yeah, especially since it does have the option to bounce between Cassia and the enemy teams as well, so you can't just separate like KT's bomb and avoid it. Yeah. As long as she's close, it'll keep going forever.
This next tribute will be a very important tribute because it is 2 and 2. 13's not reached yet by Prothros. They are close, but this is going to be the tribute they're going to fight over, and this will determine a lot of how this next 5 minutes of this game is going to look, is whoever gets this.
Yep, and they are in a much better position for this time. We do have Muradin cleaning up that camp mid. Just a little bit out of position, but he can always leap over.
Yeah, he's getting kind of low too, so they got to be careful. Oh, he is isolated now. If they can focus him down.
Oh, just a little bit too much health with that Avatar.
We do see
Great
Valkyrie kinda
Sulfurous Smash going down, killing that Zarya. Johanna also falling. It looks like Cassia is gonna fall here as well.
And just a save me Valkyrie thrown out at the last second.
And his gold down, he's gonna die over the wall again. The same spot.
Music man. I mean, I like the Cassia pickup. She's doing good damage, but the issue that's happening is she's not able to. The Valkyrie's not doing anything for their comp.
Yeah, and they don't have quite enough damage to focus them down through that Tassadar shield.
Yeah, I mean it's cute, but it might be part of the reason they're not, you know, getting as much advantage as they should, or you know, being able to take these team fights like they want to. We'll see a quick rotation down here. They're gonna secure all of the forts, so. And now they are putting pressure on top keep wall, and they'll be able to just go back and do boss. And there won't be any contesting that can happen from the side of Murky Mark.
Yep, we do have 13 just picked up now for Murky Mark. 2 levels behind their opponent. But we will see most likely see him try to force a fight on an even talent tier here.
Yeah, and I would have liked them to go, as soon as you realize they're not there, you got to go to your boss and do it.
Yep, and I do really like that play of not showing that they've captured their boss, rotating everyone up.
The only issue is this makes this a 4v5. Because Murden's still down there.
That's true. Oh, huge Sulfurous coming out. Johanna is gonna fall. Good Valkyrie to pull them all back and save gold down there, but Vala still on their backline. And Tassadar not giving up either. Zarya falls, Cassia falls. Malf is gonna fall. Wow, and we have boss pushing bottom at the same time.
Even in a 4v5, they weren't able to secure a kill. They just got split up and weren't able to engage in the spot they wanted.
Yeah, it was a good job disengaging the boss when they realized that they were all up there, but just took too much damage right away, and someone got focused down and couldn't recover.
Yeah, now they're going to get both bosses, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them if they just escort this top boss in and get that top keep. Or at least get that wall down to put a little more pressure on, but they have 16 advantage. They can easily get this top keep with that boss pushing.
Oh, absolutely. Especially since this wall is already down before the boss even gets here.
Yeah, and if they get that keep down and Rag's able to trait and they secure a kill, they can end it. So Murky Mark's got to be careful. Just try to get some damage out when you can. And don't lose anyone, because if you lose someone, this game will be over.
Good expulsion zone. Oh, that's all Furious Smash. Is huge.
And the fear comes out, but it's a little late.
Yep,
Lucio.
and that is gonna be game.
Yeah, that spawn timer, 30 seconds is enough time for them. The boss doesn't know what it's supposed to be doing, but they should be able to secure a game here.
That Sulfurous Smash is huge.
Yeah, 4-man Sulfurous Smash. Yeah, so good games. Pro Throws able to secure pretty convincingly these 2 games, the best 2 out of 3, and show why they're, you know, a higher seed in this tournament and the ability to just kind of make their opponent do what they wanted.
Yeah, especially since Murky Mark had the advantage there in the beginning of that game until about level 10, and then just fell. Saw him being down by, what, 3 levels there at the end?
Yeah. And it was just too much to overcome. Cassia just always split somewhere else trying to do damage to them, and she wasn't able to, they weren't able to coordinate their attacks and get someone dead. And with Gul'dan going the Fellflame build, he's not going to do damage until, I mean, he does damage, but not nearly as much as he would do at 16 because of that Fellflame increase. So they couldn't even make it to their power spike at 16 with Gul'dan, and that's a big deal when you can't make it to your power spike. That's gonna start securing your kills.
Yeah, absolutely. So who would you have to give the MVP to here for game number 2?
So everybody did really good. I think the Sulfur smashes were on point, and that's the reason they got a lot of those kills. So I think Vareno, the Ragnaros, is the MVP this game because of his ability to land those perfect Sulfur smashes and secure 2-3 kills every time with them.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think Ragnaros really rounded out their comp there as a last pick with that Sulfur smash. It's just did so much work.
Yeah, and so really good.
Yeah, one thing to notice though, I didn't see a Ragnaros trait at all that entire game.
Nope, he did not trait. That's why do you need a trait? What's a trait for? You can just win the game without it, right?
That's true. I mean, they were never really in a defensive position where they needed to. So I'm assuming that's why he didn't. And
the only spot where you might have expected it is the end there when they're taking that final keep and they're putting pressure. You might have expected to see a trait there just to get that extra damage out, but
yeah, they had cleared up the entire team before the fort was even down or keep was even down.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, really good job by Prothros. They'll keep moving on through the playoffs. So really good job, really good play. TAS Vala is something to be reckoned with, something for you guys to note. You do not want to face TAS Vala. No matter how good you are, TAS Vala is so good right now. So make sure you are banning or taking one of those if your first pick, so you don't have to face it.
Yep. So that is all that we had for you guys tonight. Thank you for tuning in for this division or Pro Division Chair League game. Pro Throws does take it in a 2-1 or 2-0.
Yeah,
in the best of 3. So both teams or Pro Throws will move on to next week. Continue on in this tournament. So thank you guys for joining. And if you liked what you saw, please feel free to give us a follow. All the VODs will be posted to Twitch as well as YouTube as soon as this is casted.